Howdy, everybody. This is Ann at Reaper ToolBox Live, and we're joining you to paint the seahorse, aka hippocampus. Justin is screwed up because instead of me seeing me on my facing television, I'm watching Ed on a tractor. So let's fix that so I can actually see what I'm focusing on when I paint, and then we'll jump right in.
But what's wrong with Ed on a tractor?
I can't, like, paint Ed on a tractor. Like, if you're going to have me look at Ed on a tractor, I seriously need to get a little miniature of Ed on a tractor, and I have already suggested this for the Kickstarter before any of you say anything. We need Ed on a tractor with the thumbs up for the Kickstarter. That should be our final goal on Kickstarter.
Metal sheep, I like that.
Yes. Screwed up. Weird way to say gave you a special treat. Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm back. I'm back. I'm here. And the rumors of my demise, as you can see, are clearly greatly exaggerated, to paraphrase Mark Twain. But yes, exactly. You want Ed on a tractor. You absolutely do want Ed on a tractor.
We have that as an emote right here.
And what should we, you're right. Yes. And so what should Ed be running over on his tractor? That's what I want to know. I don't know. I could have pre-recorded this stream. Okay, let's see here. Reaper Dave, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that on a tractor? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We could put Mama-san. We put a little cat cradle on the back of the tractor and put Mama-san in it. We could dress up the tractor as a pirate ship. Absolutely. So, hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to people who are previous viewers, and welcome to new people. I saw a couple of new people saying this is the first time they're watching Reaper ToolBox Live. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe so that you get notifications when we go live. I guess what would be more chronoscope than Ed on a tractor? You are so right, Ren. You're so right, Rhonda. All right. You could run over dire cabbages. You're right. Okay, I like this. I'm liking how this idea is evolving. You must tell Ron about it. All right, so before we jump into Hippocampus Land, we are going to show you our giveaway for the day. And I think we just have, do we just have the one, Justin? Are we giving away more than one?
5 total. So
5 total. So the giveaway for today
is the Halloween night.
The Halloween Knight, which is Mr. Pumpkin-Headed Knight Guy. I don't remember how far long ago he was done, but he's pretty spifftastic. And then we're doing the Halloween paints, the Nightmare Black, which is an exceedingly useful color, which is more like a blue-black than anything, or a black-blue. And Maggot White, everybody's favorite. And then Brains Pink, because zombies. I mean, come on, we were just talking about the zombie apocalypse here and how Justin is our last hope, so we're all doomed. But beyond that, yes, hashtag free if you want to be entertained. We're giving away 5 sets of this. So you can get some nice spooky paints and a Halloween night. All right. Oh, and should I show them the awesome thing that we are working on for the Kickstarter party, Justin? Should we do that before we...
Yeah, let me switch to cam.
Okay, yes.
Well, it's better
we can
to see
do
it
that.
that way.
We can do that. Okay, so guys, for the Kickstarter party, the gang asked me to do a special color. Ooh, and now you're all going to cry because you aren't going to be here, right? But don't worry, there might be some left over for giveaways in the future. So we decided, I had an idea that I wanted to do for the Kickstarter that lost out to other ideas. So we made a rose gold paint. It is a metallic. It actually does look like rose gold. Justin can swap over to his camera. So this is our special paint for the Kickstarter party. It is honestly a pink gold. Yes, and you can shade it with purple. Yes, a rose gold paint. Exactly. Oh my gosh, holy broccoli! Okay, now we need a broccoli god emote. This needs a broccoli with a halo. Can we get that? Can we get that done? Yes. So you can all just cross your fingers that, let's see here, got to get it in cam. There it is. It's very shiny. So yes, for Kickstarter party, this is our special little treat surprise. Hello, Nurkog. And it is a very pretty color. Yes, it is rose gold. Yes, it is metallic. Looks shiny. So when it's turned away, it looks very pink. And then when the light hits it, it goes shiny. So yes, and rose gold would be awesome. Yes, damn, that party is 7,000 miles away. Yes, I'm sorry. I have taunted you all horribly today, but I really wanted to because I really love how this color turned out. It really does look just like rose gold in the bottle. So yeah, this is a really cool paint, and who knows, I did make a few extra bottles, so hopefully they will somehow appear on future giveaways. We kind of like to have a couple of rare colors to be special for you guys. The party is this Saturday, the last day of the Kickstarter. Yeah, you can all tell all of the people who you know, who are Reaper fans, who would absolutely love rose gold, that yes, indeed. Rose gold nipples. Now we're talking about applique or pasties. Wait, I have to keep this family friendly, Grim. Come on. If I have any extra bottles, if One Boot emails us, maybe we'll save one for her. Otherwise, she has to win it the same as anybody else if we do a giveaway of it. And we'll probably, I'm going to try to hold back a few bottles.
If we have some bottles,
yeah,
we'll probably, I imagine, give some away on stream even too.
Yes.
During the party. So.
Oh yeah, that would be a great thing to do.
Correct.
Would be to give them away on the stream. So do watch the party stream. Yeah, Reaper Collins, noon to 6 p.m. Central USA time, Saturday, for the Kickstarter party, for our wrap-up of our Kickstarter, which should be so exciting. Yeah, put Sadie to work, more rose gold. She loved it. Reaper is my crack. She was all into this color. You guys would have all sorts of sparkly makeup and fingernail polish colors if Sadie was put in charge of paint production. So, you know, now everybody's plotting to kill me so that they can get more awesome sparkly eyeshadow colors. But yes, absolutely. So here you go. Now you guys know the secret color for the Kickstarter party. Yes. Now let's get back to Horsey and you know, just talking. What do you guys think of, what color would be closest to a deep royal blue? Tried a base coat of dragon blue, but it seems a little too light. Royal blue. Royal blue means different thing to different people. I might go with, what is it? Brilliant, is it Brilliant Blue? That's between Cyan Blue and Ritterlich Blue? 9116? That might be a good royal. No killing the golden goose. Thank you, Grim. Even though I don't like geese, I'm okay with that. Reaper needs to make a Sadie special paint line. I actually think that would be super fun to do a 6-pack of colors that Sadie would love. We would, honestly, yes, you would get all the sparkly eyeshadow and nail polish colors. There would be much sparkle in the world that day. So let's see. Yeah, I would probably go with Brilliant Blue 9116 for a more royal blue, or if you want a little purple in it, because royal blue does mean different things to different people, I might go with ultramarine blue. You might be happier with that. Lucadio, no, we used to make silks and satins colors that were kind of transparent and were made to go over colors to make them look like silk or satin finish. We don't do those anymore, but you could mix your own if you took 9100 pearl white and put in a drop of colored ink. That is a good way to approximate the old silks and satins. All right. Yes, Koofs. That's a pretty good triad. I use cyan blue for a lot if I need a brighter, deeper blue. And adding white to it comes up with a color much like Mr. Horse here on his sides. Let's see here. Yes. Okay, cool. I'm just checking to make sure that I didn't lose anybody else's questions. Today we are working with Rich Indigo. I wanted to actually put some shadows on Horsey's blue hide and outline a couple of little details, like these little pebbly details on his sides. And then I wanted to do more freehand. As you guys can see on the neck, I was working on more of the freehand on fishy horse. Yes. Second straight paint on it. I'm not sure KBS Noel. The LTPK might have taken its place because we've done additional paint sets for every Kickstarter, and the existing colors one is never quite as popular as the new colors one. I was very excited to see a new Learn to Paint kit as part of the Kickstarter because we've never done that before, and it makes so much sense with how many new painters come in with every Kickstarter. So I think that was a brilliant idea with Ed or Ron came up with that, but absolutely lovely. Fantastic. So I'm not going to cry if like my second paint set that I had worked up doesn't get used. Planar Crossroads, I think we're working on that, kinda. I talked to Cindy, who does our supplying. She sends the pallets over to Kit. So we're trying to figure out a system of how we can do it. Because with us, with samples, it really is just, oops, we did this color and it's not, not adequate, and we're gonna put it out as a sample. So we just toss it at internet, right? And they just load it into stuff. So for us to get that to Europe, then we have to actually ship those samples. And usually it's just this kind of incidental thing we do, right? It's not a lot of planning as far as samples go. We just toss them at internet, they toss them into the orders. So to get a system in place whereby we send samples, because we don't always have them either. We only have them when there's been a screw up or a mix up or something hasn't worked. Or I'm playing with a new color and decide I want to, put it out as a sample and see if it's popular. Because that does happen. People do come back to me going, I really liked this sample. Well, the second paint set, Sigwolf, is always existing colors. So it's not new colors at all. So they're already in the line. So, if it doesn't get out in the Kickstarter, it's just, less paint we have to mix, really. Brush on product. For shiny, Holy Heathen, we do a gloss sealer that's brush on, 93, dang it, I'm having 92, 98 maybe. I think it is. And then also there are any number of other product lines that make a brush on gloss sealer, and that would focus on one area of your model. You can put on more coats than just one if you want it super glossy. That's what I'd recommend. Put it on real thick if you want a really glossy finish. Let's see here. Oh yeah, remember your free, guys. We got a Halloween Night figure. That's the big armored guy with the pumpkin head. And we also have the triad of paint that includes Nightmare Black, Brains Pink, and Maggot White, which are great spooky colors. And the Nightmare Black and the Maggot White I find very, very useful. And then who doesn't need Brains Pink? I mean, come on. Zombies. I'm just putting in some shading with my Rich Indigo. The blue I'm working with is the Clear Phthalo blue that was out at ReaperCon this year that Ed is talking about putting out in a complete ReaperCon set for you guys. It's about 6 drops of that Clear Phthalo blue to 2 drops of white, as I tend to work in 8-drop batches. Just works really well for me. And I've got a slightly lighter mix of white in that because I want to put some highlights in. Yeah, see, there's plenty of monsters out there with brains showing, so you could also use Brains Pink as a Monster Maw color if you wanted a pink that wasn't so bright, because Monster Maw is pretty bright. I mean, teeth and gums are pretty bright, but if you're doing a monster that you really don't want that bright of a pink in its mouth, Brains Pink is a really good alternative pink for that, because it is a bit muted. Here, some wet blending, guys. Dab on your white and then grab your blue and kind of smoosh it into your white and wet blend your highlights. Use a tiny brush for this. Make sure you've got a thick layer of base color down when you dab the white on so it stays wet a little longer. And then you can get a good start on blended highlights. And then, if you find that that is not smooth enough, you can glaze with your blue, with a bit of water in it. I had a discussion with my boyfriend last night about glazes versus washes and how they're very confusing in this hobby, the difference between them. Do you think more people want the clear paints after GW did their contrast paints? They are a little bit different for Sacred Crow. Contrast paints are very much used for washes, and clear paints can be really good at washing, but they're also really good at mixing. And mixing really bright colors. And that's what contrast paints don't really do. So I think they're 2 different products. It's possible. I think the industry was kind of going that way anyway. Just because there was a lot of, like, the Chimera paints came out with the clear pigment color, the single pigment colors and stuff like that. More people are starting to mix. Coos, yeah, the Monster Maw is bright, but I look at, my dog's gums and my gums, they are pretty darn bright. I tend to shade it with like 9002 deep red, which takes it down a notch, and then highlight with the brighter pink. Lucadio is trying to get, bad joke, negative DKP. Yeah, Sigwolf for mixing, right. Josh was great, but thank you, Twisted Oma. I'm glad that you're into the Hippocampus. I also am into the Hippocampus. Actually, I am into the entire Greek Odyssey. That set is amazing. I must have it. the Cerberus, I mean, I was already sold, but then I saw the Cerberus and the Hippogriff, and I was done. Yes, 50 DKP minus. Exactly, Mini Wizard Studios. You got it. Have thought about kits for kids, like a learn to paint kit for kids, Planar Crossroads. I actually had that thought a while ago. I mentioned it to Ed, but I didn't really follow up. I think it would be a great thing because the current kits are written pretty tightly, like as far as there's a lot of text. And I wonder if we could do like just a 2-figure, maybe with the chibis, just a 2-figure set, just really simplified for kids. That might be a really good idea. For future, because I love getting kids into the hobby, and I know a lot of geek parents who teach their kids to mini paint or paint with them. So maybe a kids learn to paint kit would be super fun and not that hard to produce. And if we use chibis, then the brushes can be a little bit bigger and they're a little bit easier for the details to get hit. Yay! Yeah, if a kid around 9 or 10, I think a kid could seriously do the existing Learn to Paint kit and no problems. So it's more for like the 5 to 7, 5 to 8 group where they want to do what their parents are doing. Doing a really simplified paint kit might be fun. Yeah, Nurakag, I know it is so easy to get frustrated. That's why I was thinking maybe chibis, because you want something with big areas, but still enough detail so that kids can practice, but also something that looks fun so they like it. So, you know, it's a hard call. I mean, I often recommend that kids paint monsters because they have a lot more area that kids can paint and hit everything or most things without being frustrated. Yeah, by the time the rewards get shipped, this Learn to Paint kit in the Kickstarter should be just fine, Koos, then, I would say. Yeah, Bonsylvanians, and they are chibi-ish, so yeah. Yeah, lots of big pictures with less shading and glazing. I agree, Twistoma. I mean, you still would cover shading because it's fun to do a wash, and it makes kids' eyes light up because it's like magic, right? You put the wash on, and then everything gets outlined, and it looks better. So I would keep washes maybe, but otherwise just concentrate on hitting the details. If we wanted to put together something like that on our own before a kit, which paints? Probably I would stick to bones, stick to higher coverage paint. I would stick to bright colors. I will tell you, Dan, that in my experience with Paint Club, kids love the colored metallics. Love them. So maybe a small dragon with some colored metallics. And like figure out a simple wash for the colored metallic that would make all the details come out. Because you can always mix a wash with brush on sealer and water and a drop of paint. So maybe like if you use the green metallic, you could get a dark green wash, maybe with a peacock green, might be good. Oh yeah, the Rocky models are also great for kids. Absolutely.
Actually, to answer, because Planar Crossroads was pointing out that the price of the kit, the Learn to Paint kits, puts it out of range for charities and stuff. We actually recently, it wasn't a charity, but someone had reached out to us because they were doing kind of an outreach program where they were teaching their students to paint as well as other people, and we basically just sent them product.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, Dave and Ed actually often are very charitable with stuff like this. So if charities reach out to us to try to do something like this, we often will just give them product to kind of share.
Yeah,
so.
People should always ask. I mean, they may need to remind us because we don't really have anybody in charge of support right now, so always follow up. If you don't hear anything, don't assume we don't want to. Try to touch base with us again, because often it's just that somebody is getting that email on top of everything else, and it can be hard for us to make the time. Just trying to get some highlights here onto Mr. Horsey, and then some shadows. Just bringing up his blues, getting some detail on his blues here before I put in some purple shadows. What was I going to say? I was thinking, oh yeah. And the other day, even somebody who was running a paint club at their school, or a D&D club at their school, we actually set her up with a bunch of support because it totally made sense. And that kind of thing is easy to support, and it's even better because, you know, it lets us, you know, help out kids who might not, you know, the schools might not have money. A lot of those D&D clubs and other stuff, they don't have money to spend really on product. So it's good for us to support and get the kids into the hobby. Let's see here. When will the Rocky Dragons come to retail? No idea. Yeah, the contrast paint, any metallic base coat gone over with a nice strong color in a wash format can give you some really cool effects. Yeah, Dark Angel, absolutely. I just sent support to a D&D club. We would love to support more school D&D clubs. Among other things, it also lets us, get some Reaper miniatures in the hands of these kids who might have only seen Games Workshop or gosh knows what they've seen, action figures, right? So. Seahorse's spine, whitish color on the shoulder. Yeah, I pretty much used thinned white to go up from the base blue that I had. I don't think I have any of my base blue left. There's a little bit on top of his head. So I started out with this light blue here. And then I just pretty much built up a couple of layers of pure white over that. It's kind of how I like to work up to white if I want to keep the undertone of my base color. In this case was a blue. This is how I tend to do white, especially on animals and horses. With horses, I'd start with a gray maybe. On cloth, I start with like a cream, like a stained ivory, and bring it up from there. But it comes up to then pure white. Here I went real strong with it along the back, and here I was trying more to bring out details, so I went a little bit, lighter and just built up various areas. But yeah, I wanted him to have a nice, hard, bright carapace, and I'm still working on the freehand here, so actually I'll work on that in a bit. I just wanted to get some of this highlight color done. He'll be almost done by the end of today. My goal is to get him completely done by Kickstarter party, and I think Justin's going to be streaming during that. Remember to tune in. Maybe we'll have some of that special rose gold I mentioned earlier up for a giveaway. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get on the stream at the Kickstarter party, and we'll be able to show you Seahorsey all done. But he's very close. I mean, I want to do more of the special design down his back a little bit, and then we're just going to work on the base a bit, I think I'm very happy with his color scheme. I really like his color scheme, how it turned out. Oh, I know. The free minis of the month for the next 2 months, you guys, are amazing. Not just the November, but I have seen the preview for what December is. It is also wonderful. You are going to want to do that. Yeah, Dark Knight Azareth. There is the Halloween Knight, pumpkin-headed Knight guy, and also the Triad of Paint, which is Nightmare Black, Maggot White, and Brains Pink. Nightmare Black and Maggot White, two of my favorite colors, and extremely useful. So let's see here. Let's get some shading in here. Oh, I lost some water on my brush. Need water. Needed a little wetter than that. Yeah, the Kickstarter seems to be picking up, guys. Makes me happy. I always love the exciting end.
Yes, that triad is for sale on the website, right?
Yeah, it is for sale. It is for sale. It is, when it comes to Halloween, I tend to always reach for that triad for promotional paints because a lot of people forget it exists because it's not in the first, it doesn't fit on the paint racks. So a lot of times it's like, oh, some new people may not have even seen those colors. That triad, I think, was done for our first Kickstarter. The first Bones Kickstarter. So we did some spooky colors, and we did some new Chronoscope colors for that one, as I recall. It was either the first or the second Bones. Yeah, Paint Club, D&D Club, Elwindale. I mean, any of that stuff can be so fun, right? I like anything that encourages creativity, whether it be, D&D or painting.
Thank you for the gift sub.
Oh, yay, gift subs. Hey, it's almost like, well, it's not yet. So we're not going to say the Xmas word, but, once we get to the giving season, then we can, really say gift subs are in the spirit. But right now, it's Halloween, so what you should be doing is scaring your fellow chat people. Let's see. So we're putting in some rich indigo shadows here just to make the contrast a little bit more on his blue. Yeah, Dan Goodchild, I think those new Chronoscope colors had some real standouts in them. The Old West Rose in that was actually done because of people who were so sad the antique rose triad went away. It's a great, also a great color for Monster Mouths and all the rest of that. and for blush and other things like that. There we go. Now we're making pretty much rich indigo, just outlining my blues a little bit, and I'll blend it in by grabbing a little bit of the blue to get us a little bit more contrast. There we go. Horsey's limbs getting outlined. Got to show that musculature. He works out, you know. He wants you to know. Julie Guthrie Witch, love the sculpt. Not sure whether you should prime light or dark, as you've never painted a metal figure before. What do you recommend? Our Dread Skull. Actually, the question is, what types of colors are you going to be using? If you're going to be using a lot of light, bright colors on her, I would prime white. If you're going to be using a lot of dark colors with maybe only a couple of lighter areas, then prime black. But under the areas you want to be light, like her skin tones or whatever, do a white undercoat before you put your skin tone on. And that will help you get some contrast, and because otherwise it can be hard to get light skin tones to cover over black primer. Oh, let's see here. These paints limited editions, or are they permanent editions? The Kickstarter colors, you mean, Sarduki? If you're talking about the new Kickstarter colors, they permanently go into the core line. You can order them. They may not fit on the standard paint rack, because at this point the core line is quite large.
They're actually asking about the Pathfinder
Oh,
kits.
Pathfinder stuff.
I guess because one of the ones they got had a sticker that said ReaperCon promo, because there was...
Oh, that shouldn't have happened. Oh, no.
Because I guess it was a promo during ReaperCon, but it was also permanent. As long as the licensing remains a thing, we will always have them.
Yeah, it's with all of that, guys, it's always licensing. So we cannot guarantee it will always be a thing. It will be a thing as long as Paizo maintains the license, or we maintain the license with Paizo. So if something weird happens, and Paizo just decides it's not lucrative or it's not worth it or they don't want to do it anymore, then it may go away. But for now, the best thing you can do if you like those colors is to vote with your dollars. Paizo, you know, and Reaper are both working on that one. So if we see it sell successfully, then it has a higher chance of staying in print. As with all paint. Cool tone gray fur for Lady War. Yeah, my wolf gray is kind of warm, isn't it? I would use, let me think. I'd probably have to mix it, Lady War. I would probably, do you want it darker or lighter? I'd probably start with a cloudy or stormy gray and just add a touch of maybe twilight blue or military blue, which is 9269, which is already a gray blue, and it has really good coverage, so maybe you want to try that one. Oh yeah, Cybestorm, no problem.
Lady War had a question about if you could recommend a good triad for cool gray.
A good triad. Oh, okay. I just gave her a regular. Yeah. Okay, then I would probably use the entire grays triad, cloudy, stormy, and misty, and I would just mix a little bit of that military blue, the 9269, into each of those colors. That would give you a cooler tone, bit of blue for fur. All my fur colors, like wolf gray, is definitely a warmer color. Yeah, testers looking like they're in trouble. You are so right, Shidohari. I was just reading about Dull Coat, which looks like it'll still be available in the U.S. Like, it looks like testers' products are still available in the U.S., just not internationally. I'm not sure. Yeah, we do need... Yeah, Bird with a Brush, you are absolutely right. I mean, we used to have a cool grays triad, but then it didn't sell, so it was one of the canceled colors. That was ages ago. Years and years and years ago.
You know that's Rhonda, right?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
You
said
because
her name,
I'm in the habit.
So.
Yeah, I'm in the habit of like just talking to people's using their name, their chat name. So yes, I know it's Rhonda, but other people might not know it's Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda.
Yes, Justin knows it's you, Rhonda. So do I. Working on a mini with the NMM Gold Triad. Mini Wizard Studios. You know, if you want the gold brighter, one thing that I do is I drop a drop of Lantern Yellow, 9407, into each one. That actually gives me a much more rich gold, like if you're going for more of a 24 karat look. I tend to also mix a little bit of the shadow into the midtone and a little bit of the midtone into the highlight, and then do a highlight plus white additional. God Among Kobolds, I just got an email from one of the sculptors saying that testers had distribution cutting off to the rest of the world. I'm not sure if it's also U.S. Oh, shutting down the whole testers line, all last orders. Yeah, I saw that email, Shidokaru, but I also saw that it said international customers, so I wasn't sure that it was going to be U.S. also, or if it was still going to be available in the U.S., or if they are completely dying. Was not sure on that. Because, yeah, that actually hit my inbox, and I was like, oh no, because I love Dull Coat. Of all the matte sprays, Dull Coat is the true matte spray, and I have used it for years. And I would be very sad. Like, it's to the point where I need to really get out there and order a case of Dull Coat if it's really going out of, if testers is really going down. Yeah, yes, all the brain cells I killed with that paint. Yeah, me too, Sigwolf. Yeah, mix in some Lantern Yellow, specifically Minnow Wizard Studios. That orange yellow really warms it up and makes it a lot richer. Glazing also helps with that color, or Saffron Sunset, anything like that, if you really want it. Really want Egyptian gold, right? Testers said they're still doing U.S. and Canada. Christoph, that's what I thought, because it was addressed to international friends. So that's what I suspected, that they were still going to do here. At least it's what I hoped. So good to hear that they may indeed still be around for us. Doing some wet blending on the tail here, because why not? I can. Spot wet blend. Mix in some white, smoosh in your surrounding color. Notice what I did there is I laid down my blue, then I dropped some white into the middle of it, then I went back with my blue with a new brush full of it to blend in my white. That's a spot wet blend. You can use a small brush and get a quick highlight that is blended. Pixel Cat, I think it's more that they're really having just sales problems. They said it would. They actually specifically said that it was not feasible anymore, that the income wasn't there to ship out of country anymore. Planar Crossroads, what colors would you run for a starter kit? Yeah, I would stick with the Bones colors. I can't give you specifics necessarily. Yay, meme. But and yay for sub. Was that a sub or a sub? Yes. Yeah, okay.
That
cool.
was a sub.
Yay. I can't, off the top of my head, if you're doing goblins, you might want the olive green triad also. Depends on how bright you want your goblins. But I would stick with Bones colors and high coverage colors, and I would probably stick with, I definitely put some metallics in it. Kids love metallics. They love painting with metallics. What do we got here? Yeah, I know. See, it's funny. I mentioned testers and the one product that everybody's like, oh no, Dull Coat. And I totally agree, because that stuff is great. It's nice to have a truly matte spray available. All right, let's see here. I got to get more on his neck here. Oh, you doubt that will go green. Well, then just pick bright primary colors. Don't do clear brights, though, because those don't have enough coverage, and kids will get frustrated with that. I'd probably just pick some of the bright colors from Bones, like Heraldic Red, Sunrise Orange, Lantern Yellow, Candlelight Yellow, Naga Green, maybe Dragon Green, because kids like dragons. You know, names are important. Black, white, definitely grab some of the colored metallics and the just regular metallic, probably Bones metallics, Dragon Gold, because it's so shiny. Different Reaper paint lines. Ngisa. Essentially, Bones was created just to have a Bones branded paint line, to kind of make a small self-contained paint line. That wasn't core, which is huge and sprawling. It also was slightly higher coverage because it was created to go with our old HD line that now is gone, which was a higher coverage paint line. So Bones in general has higher coverage paints. They also use a new technology for the metallics that makes them shinier. They are still non-toxic, however. Otherwise, the two lines mix just fine together. Both can be airbrushed successfully, just fine. I'd say that core can be a little bit better for glazing and like layering highlights, just because it is a little bit more transparent, and the Bones line better for base coat, higher coverage. But you can do everything with both lines. It's just how much you have to work with the paint. Yes, Pixel Cat HD was canceled last year. I am sad. Some colors have been brought back because they exist in paint kits and such, and we kind of spot chose some to keep around. So I think that will be coming out into direct orderability. Yeah, Dan, that was it. They're based on a different type of flake that's shinier, but still non-toxic. Every once in a while, new technology comes across my radar, and I go, yeah, let's do this. And I have some of our paint suppliers always kind of looking around for certain things, and that was one of the things that I had been repeatedly asking for, was a flake that was still non-toxic but had a higher shine. Riot, yeah, HD was just not selling that great. Bones is really a better engineered line, I think. I just missed some of the colors from HD, because Bones was engineered to go hand in hand with HD, so it filled some of the color slots that HD didn't have, and vice versa. HD had some stuff in it, like the cool blues that Bones did not have. So they were made to go together, but then the one got canceled. So we're kind of doing triage here and there to try to make everything happy in Colorland, so to speak. But yeah, some HD colors are still around because, like I said, they go in various paint kits, the starter set and the Learn to Paint kits. And we're getting ready, I think, to release a bunch of different just color collections from the lines. And there might be some HD coming out in those. I know, golden brown, right? One of the most painful paints to make, Redacted, by the way. My least favorite color in some cases, just because it's so hard to mix. Because it has so much gosh darn pigment in it that sometimes getting it to match can be hard. Let's see here. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing questions. Yeah, Cybestorm, you're right. I think that we could have done a lot better on educating people. Reaper's problem is that it's we just have so many of us wearing so many hats that sometimes stuff gets like brushed out of the way because there's always something, you know, that needs us to be on it in a big way. Like right now it's the Kickstarter, and before that it was ReaperCon. So sometimes things that like quality of life updates get fallen under the baseboards. Now, the great thing about us starting these streams and Reaper Live in general is that you guys now have a venue to remind us about that stuff. You can get on when Reaper Live is on, and you can talk to Ed about, you know, hey, can we get this? You know, did you guys, you know, can you guys do better, you know, paint descriptions or stuff like that? I mean, feel free, right? You've got the president of the company right there. You can absolutely, or the CEO rather, you can absolutely say, hey, is there any hope of getting X, Y, or Z? And a lot of times it's stuff that we've already thought of doing. We just, you know, it just got totally shoved to the side and distracted by some other big thing that was going on. Reaper's been growing so fast since the Kickstarter started. We're all having some trouble keeping up. So we do appreciate it when you guys bring up stuff that maybe we always wanted to do, but we had just gotten distracted, and we're like, oh yeah, and maybe we'll have time to work on that. So we do appreciate that stuff. So do not be afraid to speak up about quality of life stuff. That would just help. KBS Snow Owl, I actually haven't, I use testers is my spray if I'm going to be shipping a mini. Or if I don't use it as much, but every once in a while, if I get a issue with a shine or with gloss, it's rare. And if it's going to happen, it might just be atmospheric. But I used it a lot more when I was working with Vallejo because Vallejo is really easy to rub off. And so I would essentially do like 3 layers, and then I would do a coat of dull coat. I would do another 3 layers. I would do a coat of dull coat, 3 layers of highlighting or shading or whatever. Did we get liners and inks? Redacted. The liners are actually not dense washes. They're an entirely different type of paint base that is just formulated to be a bit stickier, to stick to the mini better, and also to be more transparent and fluid. We chose it because I really wanted to put out a line of dark lining paints because a lot of lining was a very popular technique when I started here. And nobody was really making a paint specifically for lining. Everybody was just thinning down their dark browns or whatever, right? So I was like, well, let's make a paint for this. And that way people can actually have something that's like already a little fluid and they don't have to, throw as much water at it. They don't have to mix it as much every time to get it to work. So the liners are actually like regular paint, but they're a different chemical formulation, which is why some people say that they say that they stick really well to bones. When they do their starting base coat, a lot of people will do a heavy wash of like brown liner. It could be because they do have actually a different chemical makeup than the rest of our bases. So liners are different. Yeah, best thing to use to prime bones. Sarduki's got it. A lot of people do that. They'll and of course, when you do that heavy wash with liners over bones, you're also picking out all the details very nicely. So gives you a good base to work up from. But yeah, liners are not related to washes, although they do make excellent washes. If you throw some brush-on sealer and water into them, they make lovely washes because they're already transparent and nice and dark. So they do make very good washes. What am I missing? Painting the merfolk, same color scheme as this fella. Gerathinator, I'm not sure if I will be the one painting the merfolk because it varies how much time I have to paint. There are definitely... Yeah, I like these. I like this color on the horse too, but I'm not sure if I'll be the one painting the merfolk. I think I would use what I would do if I was painting the whole undersea expansion and I wanted it to look similar, is I would probably start with the same blue for everybody, but then I would vary up the other colors. Because I wouldn't want everybody to have exactly the same scheme. I mean, that would make me really bored for one thing. Why walnut brown doesn't stick so well compared to other colors? I'm not sure, Dan, because, I've noticed I have to shake it up really well, for one thing. So maybe part of it is that it has a little bit of solution. It doesn't want to stay as much in solution, and that can certainly impact adhesion. Otherwise, walnut should stick pretty well. It is very highly pigmented. And the more pigment you throw in a paint, the more you chance losing adhesion. But I don't think walnut has so much pigment that it should do that. I use a lot of walnut for my lining and stuff. Yeah, Jabberwock, you're absolutely right. James likes to paint with just liner paints. Does the paint set that was just added to the Kickstarter come with a paint case? You mean the Learn to Paint kit, Shooter X? If it's a Learn to Paint kit, it should come with a paint case. Not guaranteeing that right now because I don't know what the plan is there, and I haven't seen the product prototype. Am I planning a beginner class at ReaperCon next year? Scott Beal. I usually teach my glazing and layering class, which I consider kind of beginner to intermediate. It's the technique that I think is really important to have in your toolbox, the two techniques to get better as a miniature painter. But anybody of any level can do that class. Oh yeah, good point, Cyberstorm. Shooter X, you can watch the Chaos Live show at 3 p.m. You can ask them if the Learn to Paint kit will come in a box. They might know more. Walnut brown, the new black, the old black. Walnut brown has been popular for a long time, even since Pro Paint. Like walnut brown was the one Reaper Pro Paint that I knew a lot of people who used. No idea on the brushes. They'll be in the LTPK Libralski, actually.
Actually.
Do you have that information?
About the paint kit?
Brushes that'll be in the paint kit, or what were you about to say?
Oh, I don't know about the brushes, but I think it's gonna come in in an actual like pistol case or
like a box.
A box, yeah. I don't know if it's going to be an actual cardboard box or if it's going to be a full-blown like case.
Right.
Like
see, that was just it. I wasn't sure for the Kickstarter if they would do a full-blown case or not.
You could probably ask at 3 o'clock, but I'll tell you right now, they probably don't know because that won't be decided until we start to get all the production stuff
Right,
together.
Exactly.
So that could change. Even if I said right now,
let's see, what am I doing?
It's a pistol case. It could change.
I think I'll do some of the freehand. Let's do that. Let's mix up some. I was using uniform brown for it because I wanted something a little yellower. Here, let's get him to a good angle so you guys can see him. There he is. Hippocampus. Yeah, Pro Paint Walnut Brown did have a very distinct smell, Ren. You're right. Graphic. Graphic doesn't show a pistol case. It's probably because we don't know yet, Redacted. A lot of times the packaging on various things isn't decided till after the Kickstarter is over as we try to explore cost options and see what's the best way to get the product out. So there is definitely some lag time there where we do not have all of the particulars sorted out. Hippocampus looks great. Thank you, Papa Doc. I think he's coming along. I'm quite fond of him. I like that I got to paint something in super bright colors, which is not the case normally. Yay. Yeah, Cybestorm, I've got a new color theory class, so hopefully it's a color mixing and theory and paint chem class. It's fun. Yay, skin tone triads. Oh yeah, the shading on the back leg. Thanks, Melon. Yeah, Pro Paint, unless it's been stored upside down, is probably not still good, Gray Mail. The pots, unfortunately, tend to leach air into the bottles, so if you store them upside down, you can sometimes preserve them, but if they're already goopy, you might have a problem. Yay for the skin tone triads. I'm glad you like them, Christoph. Adepticon in 2020. I'm not sure, Holy Heathen. We scaled back on our con presence, but we had still gone to Adepticon last year when we really didn't do anything else. I'm not certain. It might be a no because we're going into that big expansion. I think, has Ed talked about the new expansion, Justin? Like the build of the new, our purchase and everything?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So since we purchased that big area and we need to, like, you know, get new buildings set up and everything, Reaper's going to be really, really busy. And so I don't know, we might take a year off from cons to attend to our home infrastructure because it does take a lot of people away from the company, important people like Ed and Kevin and people we need to go and to do those cons. So I'm really not sure if we'll be at Adepticon. That would be a good Ed question next time he's on Reaper Live on Thursday night.
Yes, that is 100% an Ed question.
Yeah. He's the man who makes the decision.
Oh, so, especially on conventions.
Yeah, so. On cons, Ed is the last word. Yeah, it is a lot of money, Cybestorm. You're right. I mean, the travel and the freighting and the everything. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, Metal Sheep, actually it was made to work that way. I made it so that you could start anywhere in that 9-color series and go up or down, and it should work. Same thing with the first 9 colors in core, with the reds to oranges to yellows. You should be able to start at any point on that series and go up or down and have a good triad. Or quadrad, or pentad, depending on how many colors you shade and highlight with. I'm just putting some extra white highlights here. Malin, which brushes do I use? I am a Da Vinci girl. I use Reaper, the black-handled Kolinsky sables on occasion. The Aught 5 is my favorite size. The Reaper Kolinskys are a good way to get in if you want to try a really good sable brush and you want one that's not as expensive. The Kolinsky sables really hold this great point pretty much infinitely. I mean, a lot of my brushes are years old and they still hold great points. So pretty much you're just looking for a Kolinsky sable. It can be a Winsor Newton Series 7. I use Da Vinci Maestro. A lot of people love the Rosemary & Company brushes, and those are very, very efficiently priced, economically priced. The Reaper ones are priced very well. There's all sorts of, Raphael is another good company. I like Da Vinci because I specifically like this brush because I like a long, relatively narrow brush with a fantastic point, and the Da Vinci Maestro Series 10 is my baby. Although I do use their Series 11 a bit, which is a bit fatter if I need to paint larger models. But my best advice with brushes is to mess around with a couple of different brands and see what you really like. Your painting style is going to make it the biggest difference with what brushes work best for you. Because every brush company does the shape a little different, or the size a little different, or the taper a little different. So you will get a favorite brush and it will be your go-to. I'm just messing around with highlighting tails. Just glazing a bit to try to get that blend in. And now it looks a lot better. Warm honey amber called hot honey lips. I knew this was coming. Greek Nakos. I heard all sorts of things. If I build the paint rack, is there a Reaper-proof storing? Shotakami, honestly, I find on the side or right side up is just fine for a dropper bottle paint. You don't really want to store those upside down. If you're using anything in a paint pot, like Games Workshop or Privateer, I absolutely say store it upside down because it's got such a wide aperture that it'll help to seal the paint, make it last longer. But for dropper bottles, usually on the side or straight up and down. So Justin, what is the hot honey lips thing? I heard a rumor of it, but I did not hear the entire story.
I'll be honest, I keep seeing it, but I really don't know its origin.
It's an already like just kind of.
It's been brought up several times, but I don't know its origin.
I know.
I also know that there's someone in chat. I think they were in there yesterday, or we've seen them before. Their username is literally Hot Honey Lips.
Oh dear.
So, no idea.
Empty jerry can. I had a brush. If they lost their tip, then there's something going on. Because they really should not. Although, I'm trying to think. We were just talking about this the other day, actually. That it can be also how you use the brush. And how often you rinse and things like that. I think it was paint. Like, I rinse my brush a ton, and so my brushes tend to thin and they don't lose their tips. And we were trying to figure out, like, if it was some aspect of brush usage that would cause the tips to disintegrate faster.
Do you see what Paints there said? Iffy Paints.
Is the nickname we gave?
Yeah, apparently it's a streamer named Sovereign.
Oh, okay. I am trying to figure out this hoof. Oh, okay. All right. Well, now I know the Hot Honey Lips reference. Thanks, guys. I'm kind of out of the loop on memes sometimes, so I like to make sure I'm up to date. Have we gone through that much time? What time is it?
John often wanders up here early.
Oh, John
but
wandered up.
It's about 2:30. So.
Oh, okay. I saw a wild John sighting, so I was like, not sure. He's already lurking. He wants to take my table away. I'm just going to do some blending here, some really quick blending, a little bit of glazing. There we go. Yeah, brush choice maintenance and proper use toolbox episode. Man, that's not a bad idea, Metal Sheep. Maybe we'll make a list. I did do a brushes thing on my Patreon a while back that was just talking about a few of the different brands and the sizes that you want in each. But I guess I should mention my Patreon. I didn't do that last time at all. You guys didn't get to hear about my Patreon. So anyway, yeah, I do a Patreon. It's cool. I do a lot of stuff like that where I break down aspects of the hobby or particular techniques rather than just painting on a single figure. It is patreon.com/paintingbig, although I finally got my camera settings dialed in, and now we are doing some painting little. I finally got it to focus on little tiny 28 millimeters. So we're talking about starting a new series in the new year where we, my Patreon peeps and I, pick one model, and then I paint it start to finish, and everybody can follow along and paint along if they want. We'll just pretty much probably do it in a series of videos. Maybe I'll do a stream at some point too, but that should be fun. So anyway, I really like my Patreon. And a lot of you guys I know are on my Patreon, which I really, really appreciate. It is fun. I have a good community going on my Discord too. Oh, hey, that brings up the question I always ask Justin and always get a glare for. Do we have a Discord for Reaper yet, Justin?
No. Although actually I think Colin's kind of made the actual server itself. We haven't done anything to it at this point.
Oh, okay. So we may actually have made some progress toward getting maybe a Reaper Live Discord server. Am I excited for the bus? Yes, I'm excited for the bus. Patreon, Millen, is patreon.com/paintingbig. All one word, painting big. Because I started out painting bigger stuff because I like to demo on it. It's a little bit easier to show technique. But people really like the little stuff, so I've started doing a lot more painting little as well. But yeah, I like my Patreon a lot. It's super fun. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I think he's looking pretty good on this side. You know, I need to figure out these front hooves and what I'm going to do. I did them with the rich indigo. I think I want to bring them up to blue. And I might need some darker shadows there as well, because I need to kind of line it. But I don't want to line it too dark. So maybe, I know, I was going to use black indigo. Where is black indigo? Which is another color that we're bringing back for the Kickstarter triads. There it is. Black indigo, very dark. There is Silverthorn, as Silverthorn says, there is an unofficial Discord. So Horse is going to sit here and go while I mix up some black indigo. Actually, I think I'm going to do, because I want to keep brightness to this, I want to keep all vibrant colors. I think I'm going to do half and half rich indigo and black indigo for my lining on these front leg plates. Yay. Thank you, Malin. Yeah, by all means, check it out. I just put up an eyeballs video, actually, that's free content for my Patreon so that people can see what I do. I did that a couple weeks back. So that way, there finally is a piece of content that you guys can watch if you go to my Patreon and see kind of how I do things. I was doing some tests to see if I could carry off that 28mm camera and still have it be in focus and useful. That was the thing I didn't want to... It can be really hard to get good focus on small models with webcams, so I was concerned about quality, but it seems to be working out, so. Yeah, Jorithinator, I know, I just like noticed the hooves as kind of an afterthought, because yeah, it looks like its fins are its front legs, but it actually does have hooves and the fins are like addendums. So it has a little bit of both. It can kick people or fin people as it wishes. Yeah, Kickstarter triads that already went up a while ago, Koofs. Like the first paint set has 3 triads, and the indigos are in one of those triads. So black indigo is coming out for Kickstarter, rich indigo, and then I made a wild violet highlight for them. Because I really love blue purples and purple blues. So for me, it's like, yay. So this is a 50-50 mix of rich indigo and black indigo that I'm using to line these little plates. Trying to make sure I'm in the camera here. Boop. Boop. Doot. Doot. Doing all my little lines here just to make those plates stand out a little bit better, and then I'll go highlight them. Contrast is key if you want details like this to stand out, so to create contrast, that's what lining is really useful for. You can also just use really dark shading, but since I don't want this miniature to get very dark, I wanted to use all bright colors for everything. This is why I'm using lining specifically, so I can still create that contrast without introducing a lot of dark color. Getting some back. There we go. All right, now I can highlight that front leg. Pumpcorn orange was a promo a while back. Is there a particular orange that works well? I honestly think, Koofs, if you mixed, let me think. I want to say burnt orange and, why am I losing it? Is it Fireball? The orange in 9406, the orange and bones. It's not Fireball. Or is it Fireball? I can't remember. Boy, my brain just went blank. But 9406 plus burnt orange 9111. If you mix those two, I think you get close. I actually did get a bottle of pumpkin orange from a friend the other day, the original pumpkin orange, so we may actually be able to make that again for a future Halloween. They mentioned they would be on another stream or something.
That was the Critical Role promotion.
Oh yeah, Critical Role.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Did it go already?
It did. It was we sponsored the stream essentially, and they started their show off by showing off. If people watched it, they may have recognized the mammoth, the catapult, the swamp dragon. Not the swamp dragon. It's I can't remember the name of the dragon.
One of our dragons.
Yes,
one
of our
our
dragons.
many dragons.
Correct. One's from Bones 5. And they just had them on the table.
Thank you, Casmania.
So
yeah.
it was really cool. They did. They talked about us and their Kickstarter and all that stuff.
Yeah, Silverthorn, you're right, and they might need a little bit of brown added, like Harvest Brown, maybe, 9200, to get close to Pumpkin Orange. It's a weird color. Whenever you get those burnt oranges, mixing an equivalent can be a little dicey, because, yeah, it is a mix of red and yellow and brown, and sometimes some black, and maybe a different brown, and white, and, yeah, it gets a little crazy. They are complex colors, the burnt oranges, but they are very useful. So I'm doing that. You can see that front leg. I'm highlighting it nicely now. It's starting to stand out more. It looks nice and smooth. And I'm using essentially just a kind of a 50-50 mix of white and the clear Thala blue to do that. Just hitting the top of each plate for now. Can go back to my 6 drops Thala blue, 2 drops of white mix to blend that in a little bit. I'm working on his knee. See, there's the knee popping out. Boop. There we are. Ah, oh no. Stay. He's getting feisty. I've made him sit still for too long. It's a problem with hippocampi. They need exercise. Their dog liked the mammoth. Thanks, Max Powers. I really like this mini. Mix an orange with Harvest Brown and add some white, Coobs. Like mix a brighter orange with Harvest Brown and add some white. Quite a bit of orange, more orange than brown, because obviously you want it to be pumpkin-y. We'll see what we can do. It's a little late now, unfortunately, being only, a day till Halloween. We didn't quite get to it. So much stuff happening. There. Got some more horsey knees going on here. Oh, okay. Critical Role did also post the info on their other social media. That's really nice. All right. I wonder if I want to do these hooves really dark. Do I want to paint the hooves in like black indigo and let's see. There we go. Let's make that hoof really dark. I was thinking about the stone on the reef and what color I wanted to make it. Live rock is actually pretty colors. In actual reefs, it tends to have a lot of pale greens and purples on it. So I was thinking I might start with a dark gray and then highlight this live rock up that way. That's what I was thinking. There we go. All right, so that leg's starting to come up very nicely. Yay, horsey. Woohoo, horsey. Blue to fit with the monster skin set. What monster would we do blue? Girathinator. I have been shopping around for glow in the dark for a while. The problem is finding glow in the dark flakes that are more than one color. And also that are high enough quality. A lot of them are made for, school, like little kids, and are not very good quality for our purposes. So I am still working on it. You may see it at some point, but right now, not for this Halloween. How long do I work on creating a single new color of paint? Pezzler really varies by the paint. For the super sexy purple, i.e. orchid purple that I did for the Kickstarter, this actually took me at least, I want to say 2 hours to try to nail this color, because it was based on a glass color that I saw in an art museum. So when I'm trying to match a paint color to something translucent like glass, and it's a weird intermediate red purple with other colors in it, it can be very difficult. Paul Getty blue. But in general, I would say probably like 2 to 3 hours. It depends. Like some of the Pathfinder colors were very difficult to match, Pezzler. So I would say somewhere between 1 and 3 hours, depending on the difficulty of the color. Like how difficult is it? How many pigments could be in it? Yeah, building a full palette around it. You'd probably want a slightly muted blue. Got them on kobolds. Because all of those colors are a little muted. What is the giveaway today? The giveaway today is Halloween Night, Mr. Pumpkinhead Evil Knight, and Paint Triad of Doom, Nightmare Black, Maggot White, and Brains Pink. Hashtag free if you want happy Halloween paints and Halloween Night. Yeah. I don't know. Married is a good one. Married blue. I'd probably add a little brown and green to a blue to come up with that. I think I'm showing off with that miniature. Thank you, Achilles Blade. How many batches do I have to do before I nail down the color? Actually, Pezler, only one usually. It is very rare these days that I need to actually trash a color batch and start over. Several Pathfinder colors did make me do that. But what I do when I start a color is I figure out what base I want to start in, and then I start very slowly. So I might start only mixing in like 1 ounce of pigment, and then I judge it by eye to see, am I going in the right direction? And then I slowly, actually, yeah, the sponge is going to be orange for sure back here. This sponge is, because I used to have a saltwater aquarium with a sponge like this, and it was totally orange. But yeah, I work up very slowly when I make colors so that I can change things before they go south. That said, there are times when my superpowers fail me and I've chanced the wrong pigment. And so then I do have to trash the color. Or maybe I started too dark and it's taking too much pigment to push it light, or maybe I started too light and I can't push it dark enough. So there were, I think, about 4 Pathfinder colors that I actually did need to sample out and start a whole new batch on, because I chose poorly when I started. Yes, Justin, is it coming down to the wire?
Not exactly. You have about 5 minutes.
Oh.
Before we start the preparations for the next show.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm supposed to probably wrap it up a little bit.
A little bit. You got a few minutes.
All right. What are good paints to use for shading and highlighting Drow Nipple Pink? Yeah. Okay. So for Drow Nipple, I would probably mix in Styx Purple for a shadow. That would be, I want to say 9422 or 23. Styx Purple. And then for highlighting Drow Nipple Pink, I actually would use one of the Pathfinder pinks, probably Sturge Pink, to do it. The Milani Blush may also be a great one for that. But you could use any pink or rosy flesh tone to highlight Drow Nipple. Extension on it. You guys want me to go for another hour? I'm really hungry. Do you actually trash the paints? Oh no, they end up as samples, Pezler. There's no reason to trash them when I can give you guys, an awesome, funky one-off color. I mean, and so really, yeah, it's Anne today, Planar Crossroads. Hello. Drow Nipple highlight. Yeah, I know that one off purple. That was a really interesting color. I forget what that started out as. Cambot, yes. Who's behind the camera? Yes. Does that make me crow? Because I'm kind of sarcastic. I'm not Tom Servo. He was never my favorite. I always loved Crow. All right. Yeah. Samples, right. Yeah, I prefer to sample paints. I mean, I like to just give you guys a fun color. If I can, if I make an oops, I'd rather give it to you guys to make it into something useful. Do I need a color? Am I hiring? Not really at this point, because I just finished teaching Sadie to mix. So now she's in the Mix Academy, doing a lot of my work for me right now.
I think Planar Crossroads was referring to me, by the way.
Oh,
behind the camera.
You are Cambot?
I guess I'm Cambot, yeah. We'll go with that. I'll be Cambot. Why not?
Do you ever watch Mystery Science Theater, Justin?
Yes, actually, I used to. Although I watch more now, admittedly, Riff Tracks on Twitch. Because they run them free all the time.
Right.
And they're hilarious, so.
Yes, Drow Nipple Pink, exactly. Use it. No, it wasn't the Oops All Berries Taj Lunch. There was a really pale purple that was put out. One-off paint series. Everybody would be very pissed off at the one-off paint series Metal Sheep because they'd never be able to get any of the colors again.
Which is the purpose.
Yes. But yeah, Collins would like to grief you all that way, but I don't think we will. If they're not trash, just limited edition, exactly. Ron is clearly Tom Servo. You are so right. October was a great month. Collins is probably Gypsy. You're very intelligent, have a great sense of humor, and everybody underestimates you. That would be Gypsy from Mystery Science Theater. Just reading you guys. Yeah, Empty Jerry Can. We're working on that. We're working on maybe getting you guys some paint samples. The problem is that we tend to just, they happen unpredictably, right? So trying to get them to Europe is just kind of weird logistically. Oh, Justin is Magic Voice, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, how would you tone down breast cancer pink to paint brains? Add a little bit of a brown, probably intense brown. 9138. And then add white for highlights. Yay. Yes, absolutely Ed and Dave are the Mads. Yep, I would agree. I would agree with that casting choice on Reapers. We should do a stream with Reaper doing MST3K. Like, all of us should just dress up. Except technically I should be Dr. Forrester because I have the name.
I don't think I'm funny enough.
Yes, Intense Brown. When Intense Brown first came out, we said it like, Intense Brown! Because that was just what our paint department thought was funny. Anyway, so yeah, Horsey's pretty much, I just got to do some gold tracings here, and he's like pretty good except for base, guys. Horsey, thanks you for watching. Ooh, we're up to 2,440,000. We're almost to goal.
5K.
Yeah, this is exciting. We're like John TV's Franks. John would make a pretty good TV's Frank.
We're about 1,000 backers away from the treasure golem, too.
Ooh, treasure golem. Yeah, Mummy Brown, Coobs, you just wait. I will find a way to do that color. Total challenge. How long does it take to come up with a right paint name? Sometimes it's instant, and sometimes I actually have to ask other people. Because I've done over 500 colors now, and it's really hard to come up with paint names after you've done 500 colors. Just ask Ron, who's named over 3,000 miniatures.
It's funny you say that, Max Powers, because Collins made the same joke behind the scenes.
Oh, which one?
As soon as funny looking.
Oh, yeah.
I said I wasn't funny, and then he said, yeah.
Pearl Forrester. I'm a little thin now, but I think Grim, I know, because I'm Ann Forrester, so of course I'd have to be Dr. Forrester. I could totally pull off her attitude. I always liked Pearl.
T-minus 2 minutes.
I'm embarrassed to say that I have not caught many of the revival series, but I was so happy that I was just happy to see them. I actually did contribute to their first Kickstarter to bring back MST3K, because I just have always loved it, so. Yeah, remember Snot Green. I know. I've got to wrap. Guys, I've got to wrap it up. I've got to wrap it up. Once Halloween, I don't know. Our ghoulie bags, I think we'll give them away until we run out. Anne brings the sass. Thank you, guys. Bones forming these are names. I don't know. Steve, maybe? All right, guys. Fins look fantastic. Thank you. Yes, we are wrapping. It's time for me to run away. Don't worry, I'll be back for the Kickstarter stream because I'm going to come to the party and hang out and probably work on Seahorse. KSB Snow Owl says, Ghoulie bags are gone already. You're going to have to buy your own candy, dang it. It's on sale now. I recommend getting to the store super fast.
I also drew the 5 winners for the giveaway today.
Yeah, did you just draw them? He just drew the hashtag freeze, guys.
I'm going to go ahead and cut back to you there so that,
okay. I'll make Seahorse swim while we...
So our 5 winners are, we have...
Drumroll, please.
Drumroll.
Yes.
Nanja 121.
Oh, good.
Shotokami.
Ooh, yay.
Old One Tooth.
I feel like you guys are all friends. Like, I cheer whenever you're like names. Yay.
Shooter X32.
All right.
And then
Shooter X asked some
Green
good questions.
12 or XII. Either way.
All right. Yay! Congratulations, winners, and welcome to everybody who tuned in for the first time today. Justin, how many people did we get?
We capped it actually about right now, 260.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks, guys. It's nice when we have a big stream and I get lots of questions and we're talking and chatting through it all. It's awesome.
2 things.
2 things?
2 things.
2 things.
First thing. If you won, what do they do?
You have to email Justin, which is...
reaperlive.
reaperlive.
At reapermini.com.
At reapermini.com.
I need your Twitch handle and your shipping address.
Yes. Listen to Magic Voice. He needs your Twitch handle and your shipping address. You wish to give him your personal info.
Yeah. Once again, too, because this happens.
It's the hypnotic message voice.
I don't need pictures of firstborns. I don't need numbers, like phone numbers. I don't
Just
need, hey, check this
your
mole out
handle
for me.
and your email or your address.
Yes. There's a whole, people love to send all kinds
give
of
you
random
extra?
stuff now. Yeah. It's become a running
Snipestorm, I
joke.
saw a triad of paints and I read it as a triad of pants. Do not give a triad of pants to Justin. He doesn't wear them anyway.
No, I don't wear pants. Actually, it's funny because I'm behind the camera. I'm just completely naked back here.
I was just
They
thinking.
allow for it.
We always joke that you could come to work at Reaper wearing bunny slippers unless you're wearing casting when you needed to wear like full environmental hazmat or something.
Ooh, Mike Disney with a tier 3. Thanks, Mike.
Woo! Oh, wow. Tier 3.
I think he was actually our first ever tier 3 sub. Maybe him or
really?
Tazalatch.
Oh, he
Tazalatch or
totally
him.
gets upvotes.
I don't remember. One of the two of them was our first ever tier 3. And, it was kind of cool.
Please don't turn the camera around. No risk. I'm not going to touch Justin's extremely expensive camera. I managed to ignore it, Silverthorn. Why do you think I stare at the Mini all the time?
Thank you, Anki 2014. But that's the kind of stuff that I get the pictures for and suggestions. It's great. It's worth a chuckle. It really is. There's no problem with it, but it is funny.
All right, guys. We're gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna go and get some food.
Oh, and hang around. Because
hang
guess
around.
What's going to happen in
Because
13 minutes?
John and Sadie.
John and Dave.
John and Dave today. John and Dave will be here to entertain you and talk about the awesome Kickstarter, which is chugging right along. Look, we're less than $4,000 till next goal. Who knows what the next reveal will be? I loved that Yeti thing. I need that Yeti expansion because I love the architecture.
That was really
and
cool.
the snow leopards, let's face it. Jason does the best animals.
I
Yes. You want Sadie? Nope. You get Dave this time. I think it's Sadie tomorrow.
agree. It is. I believe it's City tomorrow.
Yes, don't worry. We'll rotate your favorite Reaper personalities. We promise. All right, guys. Here's saying bye. Seahorse says bye. I hope you all have a fantastic afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on where you are in the world.
All right, guys.
Signing
We'll
off.
see you in 13.
Yes.
I will see you in 13 minutes.
Yes, Justin will see you again in 13 minutes.
Thanks, guys.